Hello, football extremers. This is your host, Kwabena and Nene. We bring you our very first reaction video. Breaking news today. Nene, tell us what the breaking news is today.
Yeah, man. Just as we anticipated, Thomas Tuchel has been appointed as a Chelsea manager.
Yeah, that's quick. What? Just over 24 hours after Frank Lampard was sacked, his replacement's been appointed, and by the sound of things, as soon as he comes in, first training session, 6 p.m. over there in England, he's training with the boys at the end of the day, as soon as he comes in. So, my opinion, this dude was already in the pipeline long before they fired Frank Lampard. I just think maybe since last week they were talking to this guy. So Frank Lampard's days were numbered even before the last league match he played, before FA Cup, they already made the decision, I think. What's your thoughts on Tuchel's appointment?
Yeah, I think it's quite because obviously there's contractual issues that they needed to discuss, agree on the term and fees, and there's no ways that could have been agreed in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So they just did courtesy to say, look, we can't sack you today and announce a new coach today. We'll just allow a day just for people to process and then get the new guy in. So it was literally just courtesy, maybe to Frank Lampard, but actually they could have just announced it yesterday. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Frank Lampard with a long line of victims of trigger-happy Roman Abramovich. How long you think this guy's gonna last, Tuchel? Because I mean, he's halfway through the season. He's inheriting a team in 9th spot in the league that has got Champions League in about 2 weeks' time, or next week. I think Champions League starts. So, what do you think?
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, as you said, that they already had a training session at 6 p.m. UK time on his first day.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell. And secondly, he's only been given an 18-month contract with the option to renew. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So that means he's got half of the season, 6 months, and then he's got a full season next season, which means if he doesn't deliver, he's out. If he does deliver, he's only going to get 1 year, in which if he doesn't deliver that year, then he's gone anyway. So this guy, he's a short-term fix. So I don't really think he's going to have time. I mean, the 18 months is all he's got. And come December next year, if they're still not seeing results, he's definitely going to get the sack. So he's not going to have time, unfortunately. You can even tell 6 p.m. Training on the first day. That's a guy that's already under pressure.
Yeah, especially you come in and there's a game happening the next day. So he has to hit the ground running. He has to be like the Flash kind of running because he's under pressure. I don't think he's gonna last long. Most Chelsea coaches only last about 2 years. So let's see what he can do because even
and just on the last note, if it was maybe there were fans in the stadium, he could come in and they could get the bounce. But the other teams, the Leicesters, the Spurs, the Man Uniteds, they're not just going to roll over and say, okay, because Chelsea is going to start climbing up the table. They're just going to let them, take over.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very, very difficult for them to break into the top 4, which I'm sure that's what this guy's mandate is.
Yeah.
So for him to get into the top 4, it means all the other guys have to slip up. And I don't foresee that happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think we share similar sentiments. So and I mean, my opinion also, Tuchel, he's come from PSG, much similar in terms of how the structure of that team is to Chelsea, owners that want results right now, and reports that he had falling out with some players, he couldn't handle the politics and all that stuff. Now he's going to come to Chelsea. It's much of the same. So let's see how he survives that, and let's see how long he goes. I mean, I'm sure they're running bets now on how long this guy can last. So hasta la vista, Frank Lampard. The legend is gone, and let's see, maybe he can land somewhere at another team.
Yeah,
so,
hopefully.
yeah. So on to some other breaking news. So transfer updates. What do you have for us from the latest transfer news that is breaking today as well?
Yeah, as you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm just going to touch on Arsenal. We've got this guy that's doing a medical, Martin Odegaard, but apparently we're not pronouncing it correctly. The Norwegians pronounce it, they pronounce it differently. Yeah, so yeah, that's the guy that's doing a medical at the moment, and most likely will be announced probably tomorrow. Yeah, he's going to be signing a loan deal until the end of the season. Attacking midfielder. So yeah, he's replacing Mesut Ozil, but obviously Ozil wasn't playing. But yeah, he's replacing Mesut Ozil. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, and see now that's also another thing. Arsenal's transfer activities of the last couple of years, finding players that we've never heard of, and then they give them expectations on transforming the team's fortunes. I mean, who's this guy? Who's this Martin Odegaard? I've never heard of him. Where is he coming from?
Yeah, look, man, that's just been our problem over the past couple of years, few years. We just have a habit of signing players who don't play, who struggle to get in their teams, okay? And then we're expecting those players to come to Arsenal and make us better. I just don't understand how that happens. I mean, we signed Dennis Ceballos from Real Madrid on loan. It's his second season in our team. He was struggling to get into the Madrid team, and then and he's what was he going to come to Arsenal and then get into the first team? And he's played 40 games for Arsenal already in all competitions, and he has never scored. He's only got 3 assists, and he's supposed to be an attacking midfielder. So honestly, I have no idea what's going on. I mean, on paper, they should have seen that this guy doesn't play regularly in his own team. So we Arsenal, if we're getting players that are not regular players in their own team, and we're putting them into our team, what are we challenging for? Are we trying to stay in the top 10? Are we trying to stay in the top 6? Are we trying to win the league? Because you're not going to win the league if you're signing players that don't play in their own team, and then you're going to try and put them in the Arsenal team. That just shows you, number one, that if a player can't get into the Madrid team but can get into the Arsenal team, that just shows you how far down the order we are at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
man, I'm trying to figure out why is there so much hullabaloo in the press about this guy, this Martin Odegaard, who doesn't play in Real Madrid but is supposed to come in and do something at Arsenal. Who's he going to come in and cause problems for in that team? Who's he going to come in and replace?
The thing is, the player that is replacing wasn't even playing. That's the first problem, okay, which is Mesut Ozil. So apparently he's been brought in to give competition to Smith Rowe. But what I don't understand is Smith Rowe is a kid, okay? He's supposed to be understudying somebody, not the other way around. You getting a player to give competition to a kid, whereas there should have been an attacking player there already. And then Smith Rowe is like, I'm giving you competition, Ozil, I'm giving you competition, Ozil, so that I can get in the team, not the other way around. And secondly, you got this guy on loan. So if you're getting someone to compete with the player in the team, why would you give him a loan? Because Smith Rowe can say, this guy is only going to be here for 6 months, then I'm going to run the show again next season, so why bother? So I don't really know. And this guy, I mean, he's played for Madrid. He's never scored a goal for Madrid, from what I found. He's played 11 games and no goals, no assists.
He's been there for 4 seasons.
Yeah, I think probably it's in total from when he signed.
Okay.
Then he had some loan spells, etc.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the way he had impact was Real Sociedad, where he spent one season. He played 36 games. Okay, so 36 games is like a full season.
Full season.
Yeah, he scored 7 goals and 9 assists.
Yeah.
Right.
So that shows a little bit of something. A little bit of something.
Yeah, it shows a little bit of something, but what are we challenging for by signing this guy? Are we trying to get into the top 6? Are we trying to get into the top 4? Are we trying to win the league? Because this is not the player that you sign to win the league. If we're trying to maintain our position more or less 7th, 8th, I can get it. It's probably another average player. And the other problem that I've got is you cannot keep bringing in like players like Odegaard, like just when Ceballos is right there, and he's not doing anything. You know, he's also on loan. So I don't understand why you're bringing this guy in. You've got Ceballos in there not doing anything. You've got Willian in there, 14 games, 3 assists, no goals since he joined. You've got Pepe there. He's in his 2nd season, 43 games, and he's only scored 7 goals and he's got 7 assists. That's bad, really, really bad. And then now you're bringing in another guy who's supposed to, you know, because he's been on loan so many times, he's coming in on loan. I'm assuming he's coming here to learn something so that he can go back to Madrid. So what is he bringing to the table when he's already surrounded by players who are not delivering?
Yeah. Now I can see that. Like with me, I'll also be just perplexed and trying to see, as you're asking, what is Arsenal trying to achieve? Because the transfer deals over the last couple of seasons, it's just guys coming in and just not even making waves. The only player that has actually made waves since being transferred in is Aubameyang. And okay, you can say a little bit, and Lacazette. Yeah, I was going to say you can say a little bit about Lacazette, but even Lacazette himself, on and off in the starting lineup, you never know. When was the last time Lacazette started 3 games consecutively? And the quality that he is. And even with the Aubameyang, you don't even know, is he a centre forward? Is he a left wing? They don't know what they're doing at Arsenal these days.
Yep, you're right. And the funny thing is, that's what actually got Unai Emery sacked in the first place.
Yeah.
Way too many changes. Because someone will ask you, what is Arsenal starting 11? No one knows. Okay, we've got Aubameyang, who's sort of your elite player, and then you probably have Lacazette there. Then you've got a whole list of players that are all average. Okay, and right now, our biggest saviors has been our youngsters, Saka, and Smith Rowe. So that's the problem that we've got at Arsenal. Time and time again, we always get criticized for not having experience in the team and having youngsters. Whenever we went out and got experience, they've just been wasteful, absolute nonsense. So, and that trend is not going to change unless when they actually want to get experienced players, you do what Man United did. They got Edison Cavani, someone who's seasoned. You know, he's not going to play 20 games in the season. He's going to come in, teach the youngsters and do a job. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you want to buy a player, get a Bruno Fernandes. Spend your 60 million, get that guy in. You got your young players in there still playing. So you're okay. But if you keep having your youngsters and then you buying average players with the hope that that's what we do. We buy a player and we sit and hope that the guy is going to perform. You can't do that. You know? So it's you can continue.
So what are your expectations then of this Odegaard guy? What's he going to bring to Arsenal? If Arsenal are putting their hopes on him, there's all this media coverage on this transfer today. I mean, I don't see it as a massive thing. What's your expectations on what he can bring to Arsenal and where Arsenal can finish?
After Nicolas Pepe, Willian, Dennis Ceballos, I don't have any expectations. None. I'm sorry. I think he's coming into the team to give us goals from midfield, and also do some assists as well.
Yeah.
But look, with these stats, 36 games, 7 goals and 9 assists, and he's only going to be with us for 6 months. I don't know how much he can give us in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, if we got someone who was seasoned, like Dele Alli, for instance, I'd be like, okay, cool, it's fine. We've got someone, he can hit the ground running. Got someone coming from a foreign league, okay, that needs to settle into the team. And then next thing it'll be end of the season. We had a player that I forgot to mention, Denis Suarez. We signed Denis Suarez, I think in 2019 January. And it was a 6-month loan from Barcelona. Disaster. I think he played 2 games.
Yo.
Okay. So we've been poor in acquisitions in the attacking front. It's just been bad. So you want to know my expectation of this guy? I don't really have expectations. If he comes in and he scores 2 goals, okay, fine. If he comes in, he gives me 6, 7 goals between now and the end of the season, gives me 5 or 6 assists, we can talk. But if he's going to come in and he's going to have 1 good game and 5 bad games, I'm sorry. It's just continuing the trend of the other guys. Your Pepes, they need to up their game. This is unacceptable, especially if you're playing for Arsenal. And you were brought in because you need to push the team further so we can break into the top 4. And what I see now is I see Chelsea, the neighbors, spending 200 million, showing signs. Everyone is criticizing them for saying they spent 200 million, but look where they are. That's fine. That shows effort.
Yeah.
It shows that this is where the team is going. And I'll always ask the questions, where are we going? Are we going for top 4? Are we trying to win the league? Are we trying to get into the top 6? Because that will show what then we need to see the ambition from the team to see what kind of players we're signing. Chelsea, you can see they need to get into the top 2, top 3, win the league, win the Champions League. That's why they're doing what they're doing. And with us, we're signing players on loan from Madrid who can't get into the team. What are we trying to achieve here?
Yeah, sure. Well, that's it from us on our reaction video at Football Xstream. And stay tuned for more as we bring you guys more transfer updates, maybe more sackings to come. And just keep liking our videos, subscribe to our channel, and then you're going to get more updates from all the things that are going to happen in the Premier League and everywhere else in the football world. So yeah, let's say cheers to all our viewers and see you in our next video, everyone.
Yeah, no, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Hasta la vista, everybody.
Cheers.